Steve, before we talk about our show this weekend in Wigan, a lot of interest over in Dubai, where you had two lads fighting. You had Aqib, who had a fine performance, and Zelfa was hoping to be our next world champion.
Yeah, we'll go with Aqib first. He was a winner, clearly over 8 rounds, 80 points to 72, I think, on all the three judges, and deservedly so. I mean, it was a good performance. A lot of people like, I think, getting over the top with it. I mean, personally, I felt that he kept a lot in his bag, and he didn't really turn it on to the 7th, 8th round, and it's something I spoke to him about. It's all like winning easy and I suppose getting used to the longer rounds, but what I want is for people to see how good he is, and you know, want Eddie to ringing me up and saying, can we put him on the show, because you know, he wants him on the show to put some entertainment, and he's more than capable of doing it. And you know, he took 60 people over to Abu Dhabi, which is unbelievable, and you know, he's going to turn into a massive draw. And you know, we've got to build him right. He's got to do his own part as well, and he wants these people to keep him coming and bringing the mates, because he can be a very, very exciting fighter. And on Saturday night he was, but for 2 rounds, and we want to see it for 6, I suppose.
When he did let his hands go, he let him in tremendous combinations, though, didn't he?
Oh, he looked fantastic, and you know, and some of the early rounds as well he did, but for so short a period, you know, and obviously it's an 8 round and you've got to conserve your energies, and the kid was a durable kid, but you know, he wasn't on Aqib's level, no. And he's shown it, but only little steps, and then obviously in 7 and 8 he turned the screw. But you know, he can excite everyone a bit more than that. Yeah.
I think he got a draw with Kane Baker, didn't he? Yeah. Only a couple of fights ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. Hey, listen, he let his hands go as well. Do you know what I mean? He was a journeyman who comes and tries, and you know, it sounds like I'm being critical of Aqib, and I'm not. I'm kind of saying there's that much more in his locker. Let's people see it, and want people to tune in to watch him on the telly, as well as come and support him from Oldham, like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously not the result we wanted, but a fantastic performance until the end.
Yeah, you know, I actually thought to myself the first 4 rounds would be the hard ones for Zelfa, and then he'd come through. But he was absolutely dominating the rounds, wasn't he? And you know, you couldn't give him any higher praise to say he was looking like Sugar and Ray Leonard in there at that time. He was absolutely fantastic. And then obviously the 8th round showed bits of him unfolding with his legs not working so well, and then obviously in the 9th, even though he went out fighting, and you know, you've got to give him praise for that. He'd gone, hadn't he, you know, and it was awful to watch over there, because you know, at the time I didn't know what had gone wrong. I've spoke to him obviously and been with him a while, and his balance just went, and while we've been over there, we went to hospital afterwards, and he had a CT scan to check everything there, but with a language barrier we didn't really get what we wanted, so he's going to go to the hospital in the UK today, and it could possibly be a pierced eardrum, which has knocked his balance. And the other thing was his calf. He's had an Achilles problem, and it was only 18 months ago he had a big operation on that, and that's sore as well. So we've got a couple of things that could get checked up, but you know, we didn't get the 12 weeks you'd normally like for world title challenge, but we decided to take the fight, and so there's no complaints. You know, if we was going to complain, we shouldn't have took it. You know, so that's something that we can consider as when we're looking at things. But I think it was just maybe a freak thing on his legs, because he said he wasn't tired. But you know, take that injury away from him, and it was a fantastic performance. Showed he's at world level, and there's nothing to show that he'll be coming back and be a world champion. Yeah,
definitely. And another plus on that night, we had your old fighter in Jamie Moore, obviously Aqib's coach, but getting his first unified champion, undisputed champion.
Yeah. I mean, he was talking about it yesterday when I was over there, that Jack Cattrall could have had that, and they'd have had two in the VIP gym. Obviously, Jack Cattrall and Chantel's not with VIP.
No, but
they're
training
in the gym, and it's nice to see him do well. And obviously, I miss Chantel's because we had to go to the hospital with Zelfa, but apparently it was a little bit wider than the scorecard.
Miles wider. I couldn't really give her anything, and yet I think it was only by a round or two on some cards.
Yeah, so she's done well, and I'm pleased for them, as I say, because they train in the gym there, and our two lads did really well as well. So it was a good little trip over to Abu Dhabi.
And one final thing before we go on about Wigan, on the same night in Manchester, the is it AO? Is it AO Arena now? The Manchester Arena?
Oh, the Manchester Arena, yeah.
We've got Brad Ray and Kilgannon on there.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at my times here now for our show. I'm wondering if I can pop over and watch Brad Ray, because like, you put a lot of work into these kids, bringing through on your small horse, getting onto the big horse shows. You want to see him when they're fighting in title fights. So once I know what time he's fighting, there might be a mad dash from Wigan and back. But yeah, we've got Brad Ray fighting for the English, and not an easy fight. He's fighting Tyler Denny, who's a good fighter and the champion, and just had a good win. Southpaw to boot. But obviously we've got high hopes for Brad, and we're expecting him to do the business, but it will be an hard fight. And then we've got Jack Kilgannon, just waiting for an opponent to be confirmed on them. But nice to have some VIP interest on the big shows in Manchester. Just a shame that we'd already booked a date and a venue, otherwise I'd have changed it, and we'd have done it another night. But 12th of November, big show there in Manchester, a couple of lads involved, and then obviously we've got a strong 10 fight card. Looking forward to it.
Well, we have. I'm really looking forward to it. Not just about the mini prize fighter tournament we got, but we've got a few kids on here. A kid making his UK debut, a Greek kid who trains under the guidance of Scott Fitzgerald, Dave Fitzgerald. And he looks like he can do a bit.
Well, he's making his UK debut, and I think he's had two wins. So over his days
one on what he says it's 2 wins, but it was classed as a draw.
Right.
So I think he's got 1 win with a stoppage and 1 draw, but it was away from home, and he felt like he'd won the fight. But he's fighting a kid who's making his debut, Jake Smith, who trains under I think it's Sean O'Hagan.
No, I don't think he does. He's mates with Reece Moore.
Oh well, that's where I've seen him then at the gym.
Training in the gym, yeah. But that'd be an interesting fight to open up the card for us. Jay McCarthy is coming on as a bit of a mutual favour. He's helped us out in the past on Liverpool, and we're helping him out here against Martin Shaw.
I don't know Martin Shaw. He's not fought our show before, has he?
No, but he's had a few. So. It'd be good to have a look at him, because we can probably use him again for some of our light middles. Mike McKay, after a long injury, he's back. One of Dave Allen's kids, Ryan LeBon. Brian Collins is against Berman Sanchez. Jackson, whom we're looking to match, he was against Naheem Ali, but I've just come back and found out he got stopped over the weekend.
Oh, what? Naheem Ali did?
Yeah, which is unusual. So we're on the hunt for someone for him. Lennox Lithgow against Brett Fido.
Ooh, that'd be a good test.
I think that's a great fight there, yeah. Jake Barton, we've got Edgar Snezels, the Latvian who we've had before.
Yeah, he's been on our shows many a time.
Yeah.
He's a big lad as well, him.
Yeah. Then we come to the light middleweight tournament. We've got Johnny Boy Keeler against Jake Breakers. Owen Kirk pulled out, so
it's a rematch.
We both fought each other debuts, and it's a good fight. So I'm just glad.
Great fight.
Jake's been on a lot of our shows, so it's nice to invite him in. Obviously, he wanted Owen to be in it, but he's pulled out. So
Well, do you know that fight? You and what's his name?
Darren Noon commentated.
You commentated on it, and you loved the fight. It was a great fight, wasn't it?
It was. Listen, any fight John Kylie's in, it's going to be a good fight.
Well, you can also say that about Jake Brago, can't you?
Yeah. So it'd be a good fight, and then we've got Casey Brown v Reece Wood in the other semi-final, and they're both extremely confident. I've been speaking to both of them.
Well, I'm going to be speaking to them tonight. We're going to do a Zoom call with both of them, three-way one, and we'll find out how training's gone, because it was only 4 weeks ago that we did the draw, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll see how preparations have gone.
And then the final fight of the night, which is top of the bill, Joe Howarth is fighting another Nicaraguan called Brian Marina, and he's a decent kid, so it's going to be a good show, and he's going to finish with fireworks in the 2 semi-finals, and also Joe.
Well, this is Joe's third Nicaraguan kid. I mean, they're all tough, but this kid's coming in with a bit of good form. He just stopped a kid who was 9-1 in Frank Arnold on one of the BT shows,
the BT shows, and he was a tremendous knockout as well. You know, no, he's a tough fight for Joe, and you know, because of his early first 3 stoppages against tough journeymen, it's been hard to match, and you know, to do it on our small hall shows. It's really difficult, but I'm pleased with this, and we go to Wigan because of him and Lennox. You know, we can't just take him away. You know, you're going to try and build someone, you've got to do it in the own town, and so I'm hoping that Joe put another great performance on. The people from Wigan will turn out, and then we can go back there again a couple of times next year with him. So I'm excited about the show. Well,
just going back to his opponent. You know, he's been around with Reece Bellotti, Kilgannon, Isaac Lowe, Shabazz Massoud, Patrick Ward, Levi Giles, Muhammad Ali. These are all quality kids, and he's gone the distance with them. And the only 3 lads that have stopped him have been huge punchers in Gabriel Yafai, James Tennyson and Louis Lynn. So this kid is...
Listen, Joe's getting an excitement about him from everybody within boxing, and you know, when we first signed him, an unlicensed kid, no amateur experience, you wouldn't have thought we'd been pushing him as much as we have been doing, but he's had to be, because he's showed himself to be a lot better than we probably thought he would have been at the start, and he'd been doing serious damage to good journeymen, didn't he? He stopped a tough Nicaraguan last time, and he worked that well, so
he's stopping
he
the kids
up again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He stepped up again, and then, you know, we'll have to step him up after this if he comes through, and you know, he's going to be in some big fights.
You've got a smile on your face, haven't you, when you talk about him?
It's exciting to watch, you know what I mean? He does throw the jab now and again to get in there, but normally every shot's hurtful in there, and he's shown an half decent chin when he's been tagged. So you know, it's nice to think that you know, you can do something with someone who people didn't expect you to do something with.
Yeah, I must admit. So hopefully, come Monday, we'll have a lot to talk about. Not only our great show that we've got on, what we just spoke about, but hopefully we'll have a new champion in Brad Bray.
Yeah, I'm hoping so, mate. Fingers crossed.
Alright, Steve, I'll speak to you later, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Bye.